Roundtable family, we back with another reaction video. Today reacting to he caught so many bodies, he was a legit nightmare for his enemies, the story of infant nightmare. Let's get into the video. And RTO, I know this is not Dallas drill, but when I was making the thumbnail, I damn near watched the whole video. I'm not lying, it's good. Let's get into the video. He caught so many bodies, he was a legit nightmare for his enemies, the story of infant nightmare.
Welcome to Hood War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the life of infant nightmare. Dante Kennedy was born on December 29th, 1998 in Los Angeles, California. He attended Hillcrest Elementary School. He was raised in the Baldwin Village neighborhood of Los Angeles, infamously known as the Jungles, or the Jays, an urban fortress composed of high-density apartments and tropical vegetation. The Jungles are still unsafe today, but in the early 2000s, it was on another level. Those were the training day days. Guys 20 deep in red on every block, monitoring every car that goes in and out. For a while, it was a no-go zone, as you would enter at your own risk. Young black kids growing up in this type of setting more than likely get swallowed into the Black P Stones, the gang that has its area on deadlock. This neighborhood is so deep and active that you basically are a member by living there. BPS recruits heavily, but the actual put-on process is not easy and is selective. Nightmare would join BPS in his early teen years. Infant Nightmare made it a point to be a standout member from jump. He was considered a part of the 10% of gang members who are really active in the field. These are the real line pushers, patrolling the neighborhood and banging on people. Nightmare was always known to carry a gun. He primarily focused on the top shooters from rival gangs and prioritized knocking them off. By the time he was 17, he gained high status and rank within BPS. His earned rank was a combination of factors. Nightmare was super solid and very respected, and was very ambitious to get money.
Oh, he vibing with that motherfucker though.
Rank within BPS. His earned rank was a combination of factors. Nightmare was super solid and very respected, and was very ambitious to get money. He had a good record with the hands and was always down to fight. Alleged bodies and numerous attempts propelled his reputation as one of the top young shooters in South Central. Nightmare was down to kill and do life in prison or die himself in the process. After the Rollin 40s and the Harlem 30s, Nightmare hated 18th Street the most. BPS and 18th Street's war goes back decades. In the mid-90s, a few 18th Streeters lived in the Jungles off Ursula Avenue in one apartment. They tried to set up shop and sling drugs on that block. BPS told them it was a no-go. When the Ursula clique continued to sales when things got hectic. After Ursula got pressed, the Rancho clique and some other gunners from other cliques responded with gunfire. BPS responded with full court pressure, shooting up Ursula Ave every day. Shootouts would occur from out the window onto the street and from apartment to apartment in the Jungles. It was so much heat the Ursula clique had to vacate the Jays and stay in the Rancho Park clique's hood. The Rancho Park clique were firing back on Ursula's behalf. Even black kids walking to Dorsey High School were getting shot. Most of the Ursula locals were wound up getting absorbed into the Outsets clique, and that's who's been in the thick of it with BPS, along with the Smiley Drive clique. Nightmare was known for bouncing out, pop out, and shoot you type, but he also had a sneaky side. On one hot night, Nightmare ventured into 18th Street's turf. There he spotted 3 18th Streeters outside on the street talking. Nightmare allegedly got out on foot, crept up from behind, and domed the 18th Streeter. 2 additional shots were fired, but they both missed the other targets. Nightmare gathered himself and fled off into the night. The sneak attack was allegedly one of his first bodies, and the 18th Streeters got a clear view of his face. After that murder, Nightmare briefly shifted his focus to another enemy that was in close proximity, the West Boulevard Crips. Allegedly, there was some back and forth dialogue being exchanged on social media. Threats like "you know what it is when I see you" were being sent. And it didn't take long. Nightmare allegedly spots him near the intersection of Crenshaw and Adams. These cross streets is a point of conflict, as multiple gangs lurk near these borders and often are bound to run into each other. After spotting him, Nightmare allegedly chased his victim down in the streets and completed his mission. There's no one Nightmare hated more than the Rollin 40s. In fact, this has been BPS's top enemy for more than a decade.
I'm not gonna lie, RTO. I'm not from Cali, bro. I'm from South Carolina, bro. All this, it's not even politics. It's just like all these different. Hell nah. Where I'm from, that shit cutthroat than a bitch. Listen, you got these. You got. How could I emphasize this shit for y'all? All right, I'm gonna do it like this. You got these niggas, and these niggas. You see what I'm saying? So these two niggas, they fuck with each other. Like, these two groups, they fuck with each other. what I'm saying? And these two niggas, they fuck with each other. But they didn't always fuck with each other, but now they fuck with each other. Okay? Now listen. Now, I'm from a little country bumpkin ass town. You know what I'm saying? So, niggas really beefing with their cousins out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the politics of these niggas and these niggas, like, and, like, the bodies that didn't drop are very, like, significant niggas. So, like, these niggas and these niggas, like, we don't do color banging. But I know you be taking pictures with them niggas.
Especially among the younger generation. Nightmare labeled himself Mr. 40K, and he earned that title, shooting up the 40s on a weekly basis, from the avenues to Parkside, but especially the dark side.
This nigga got a nickname from Mr. 40K. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, right? If I was in listen, I'm not trying to glorify it, but if I was in the streets, in any capacity, right? If I was a shooter, shit, if I had a gun, listen. If you got a name for slime on a specific name of ops, or group of ops of yours, like just for that work you didn't put in alone, I can't do nothing but respect that. I can't be no ain't that nigga, be like, nah, that shit ain't hard. That's hard. Nah, y'all know I hate them niggas, and I put so much work in on them niggas, y'all gotta call me this now. Stamp that shit, nigga. That shit hard.
And he earned that title, shooting up the 40s on a weekly basis, from the avenues to Parkside, but especially the dark side were all getting lit up. Nightmare was putting in a ton of work and was becoming a true nightmare in the streets. His name rang bells, and his gunplay put everyone on notice. He was an active shooter and had no intention of slowing down. As Nightmare rose to one of the top doubters in the city, he began to prioritize killing other top shooters from rival hoods. Africa, also known as Tiny J-Stone, was an extremely active, high-ranking member from the 89 East Coast Crips. Fast forward to July 29th, 2018.
You know how much of a psycho you gotta be to think like that? Like he could have just slid on the ops in general. Like, you're op, nigga, fuck you. You gon' pay for that. So I'm saying? Cause you could have fucked with us. Or your people didn't have to live over there. Or you should have moved the fuck out. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. So I'm saying? Off the back. So I'm saying? But for a nigga to say, who's y'all best shooter? Like, I heard he was good. Let's see. You know what I mean? Like, I heard Buddy be on his shit. Really? He liked it, huh? Yeah, let's see. But, like, the psycho, like, let's say you play, like, Call of Duty, right? And you're the slayer for your team, and the other dude is slayer for your team, for their team, so you just trying to see who liked it. That's cool. But they playing hardcore COD, though. You see what I'm saying? There is no response. On God. You literally can get one tapped, and that shit be through. So for you to know what this motherfucker do and want that shit, you're different. Oh, my mama, you're different. You're different. And a lot of niggas do not be like that. I swear to God, I probably met my whole life 3 niggas like that, swear.
At 12:40 a.m.,
no bullshit.
Africa's hanging out rolling 40 members near 43rd of Vermont. Nightmare and other BPS members all saw it that night, driving around looking for a 40 Crip to kill. They end up pulling up to 43rd of Vermont and find just what they were looking for: Africa and a few rolling 40 Crip members. That's a 2-for-1 special in Nightmare's eyes. Nightmare then jumps out and specifically tries to kill Africa first. He lets off numerous shots, and bullets start flying. But instead of hitting Africa, a 40 Crip named Tiny Hardhead got hit. 2 others were also shot. Hardhead was pronounced dead in the street at 12:50 a.m. Nightmare and another...
Hold on, bro, down. I can't read that down fast.
Hardhead was...
I don't want to mess that man's name up. I'm gonna butch the hell out of that shit. Mr. Hall, 28. A 28-year-old black man was shot and killed Sunday, July 29th, in the 1000 block of West 43rd Street in the Vermont Square, according to Los Angeles County Coroner's records.
Was pronounced dead in the street at 12:50 a.m. Nightmare and another gunman ran to 2 separate vehicles, which fled the scene. Tiny Hardhead was a factor in the 40s, and he was known for shooting and pressing the issue.
Hardhead is that trip.
They gon' phone him out, bro. I ain't even no C nigga, bro. Gon' phone him out, pop.
He on the phone calling his homies.
I pop that y'all niggas don't do nothing, nigga. I'm voting and I stay shooting y'all niggas.
He said on 40 Crip, I stay shooting y'all.
Stay shooting y'all
It's 4 of y'all though, it's only 3 of them.
Which I need a burner, cuz. We don't got no burner. Let's get our head up, cuz.
Originally, when he was killed, there was speculation in the city whether it was the Five Deuce Hoovers or BPS's work. But as Nightmare got away that night, Africa got a glimpse of his face. Nightmare was wearing a hoodie, and it was dark, but Africa was almost certain it was him. Africa then told the 40s who he thought he saw, and word traveled to the 50s. Tiny Hardhead was deeply connected to the 557s, so both hoods took this loss personally. Retaliation was guaranteed. The Jungles were shot up weekly for almost 2 months. And for good measure, the 557s and 40s also hit up 5 Deuce for a good 2 months also. The results were 3 people dead, but their main prize was still lurking around in the shadows. That's until October 3rd, 2018, shortly after 5 p.m. Nightmare was standing on the sidewalk with a couple brims in their territory. 2 people then walked up and began firing at the group, striking Nightmare and 2 others. Bodies dropped to the ground and everyone tries to flee. Nightmare was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead at 5:51 p.m. Rumors spread that Nightmare was standing on the sidewalk with a couple brims in their territory. 2 people then walked up and began firing at the group, striking Nightmare and 2 others. Bodies dropped to the ground and everyone tries to flee. Nightmare was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead at 5:51 p.m. Rumors spread that the alleged gunman was a Rollin 40s member and a stud from 50s, and some people were shocked that it was a female shooter involved. Now that the trophy was gone, BPS responded with full force, and the 40s felt major impact in the months that followed. After Nightmare's death, he was super dissed all over social media from various hoods. Rollin 40 members even dropped diss songs mocking his death. That's a clear indication of how much of a problem he was in the streets. The top shooters usually don't last long. The common outcome is either early death or life in prison. BPS is still honoring Nightmare to this day. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment.
You know what the sad part is though? Cause I didn't know he went out when he was 19. The sad part is that if he would have took that same passion and same fire and put it into something constructive, something that's productive, he could have been a billionaire. Like, see what I'm saying? Everything is just about what you put your time and your energy to. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, he could have made this of anything he wanted to be. You doing shit like that, and that just show like, that showed that you got heart, the passion. It shows that you willing. Like, he'll literally die for that shit. You feel me? Like, bro could have started a clothing brand or just hustle, like just straight hustle. You feel me? But I be trying to be understanding because I understand both sides of the shit. Like, some people, it really be trauma that's like I can't let that go. Like, you took something from me that you can't replace, so I'm gonna give y'all hell. You feel me? And it just shows like the dynamic of like, I always feel like the older generations feel this more so, or at least like they point the finger at our generation, call us young niggas in crash house and all that shit like that. But I don't think they realize like the bullshit and the dysfunction had to start somewhere. You feel me? The round table family, that was a story of infant Nightmare. Let me know if y'all would like more content like this in the comments. And I killed my word. I told y'all 30 videos in the month of December. Yeah, and I appreciate y'all for 2,600 subscribers. We almost at 20-something already. I love y'all. Thank y'all. You want to see any more comments? I said comments. You want to see any more content? Let me know in the comments or DM me on Instagram. Thank you. Love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.